Hi, I'm Sandra Draper, and today I'd like to show you how to make beads. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is pick out some funky papers that you like. When you're looking at papers, these are scrapbooking papers. When you're looking at them in the store, you want to look for color combinations more than patterns, because the patterns themselves aren't really going to be visible in the finished bead, but the color combinations will show up. You'll also need some round toothpicks, something to cut on, a cutting mat, or if you don't have a cutting mat, you can use a stack of newspapers or an old magazine that you're willing to slice up. You need an X-Acto knife and a straight edge, and you'll also need a paintbrush. Another thing you'll need is a bottle of Mod Podge, which is a sealant, a glue, and a finish, and this is what will harden your paper beads. And if you have an old piece of styrofoam laying around, that's really handy when it comes to rolling your beads. The first step in making your beads is to cut long, narrow triangles out of your colorful paper. Now, to start, your paper will be a square or a rectangle, and the first thing you need to do is cut off one edge. What this is a right angle down here, and what I'm going to do is get rid of this edge of paper because I need to make isosceles triangles. So this actually is a scrap. I want my triangles to be isosceles, and I happen to have a cutting board which has measurements on it. So I'm lining up this point, and I'm going to make a triangle that is, in this case it's centimeters, 2 centimeters wide at the bottom. And it comes to a point at the top. So the best way to get started is cut a bunch of triangles, as many as you want. Now you can just use one sheet of paper. I just happen to pick out a variety of different papers so that I could show you what the finished beads look like from each paper. I'm going to take my bottle of Mod Podge and pour a little bit into the cap. And then I'm going to begin rolling my beads. So I'm taking a toothpick. Now a round toothpick is what you need. You don't want to have a square hole in your beads. So you start by rolling up the flat end of your triangle, the narrow end of your triangle, I guess would be a better way to put it. And you roll it up around the toothpick. And basically, sometimes you need to take the toothpick out and just kind of even things up a little bit. Put the toothpick back in and continue rolling. And essentially, you want the point of your paper to end up as the middle of your bead. And when you get down to the very tip, you want to dip your finger in the Mod Podge and just spread a little bit of it on the end of your paper, and then wrap it tightly. And there you have the beginnings of your bead. Then you take your styrofoam and stick your bead in there to let the glue dry. Once you have as many beads made as you want, and I usually make a lot more than this, but what you want to do is get some Mod Podge on a paintbrush and gently coat the outside edge of your bead with the Mod Podge, because it'll dry clear and it gives the beads almost an acrylic seal to them. And I usually try and do 3 coats because that makes the beads nice and sturdy. And I would allow about 4 hours drying time between coats. These are some necklaces that I've made using paper beads that I'd made previously. As you can see, you wouldn't want to make an entire necklace out of paper beads, but the handmade paper beads can be a beautiful addition to a necklace or a bracelet. Thanks for watching, and I hope you'll tune in again.